In a season already marked by twists and turns, the Los Angeles Dodgers now find themselves navigating yet another critical development, this time involving one of their most reliable and high-leverage bullpen arms. The organization, known for its depth, adaptability, and ability to manage adversity, received sobering news that could significantly impact the bullpen dynamics for the foreseeable future. Evan Phillips, a standout reliever and one of the most trusted names in the Dodgers' late-inning strategy, has been officially placed on the injured list due to forearm inflammation. And now, with further testing revealing elbow inflammation as well, the timeline for his return is not just uncertain, it could be far longer than initially feared. For Dodgers fans, coaches, and players, the update hits hard. Evan Phillips has been a cornerstone of the team's bullpen over the past few seasons. Since emerging as a late-inning option, he's been as reliable as they come, posting consistently low eras, commanding both sides of the plate with a devastating slider, and regularly shutting down opposing offenses in the most pressure-packed moments of the game. To see his name move from the active roster to the injury report sends a wave of concern not just through the clubhouse, but across the broader Dodgers universe. Initially, the move to the injured list was presented as a precaution. After all, Phillips had already spent a portion of April on the shelf with a similar issue. At the time, both the organization and Phillips himself downplayed the severity, suggesting that rest and minor treatment would do the trick. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts had even hinted at the possibility of Phillips returning quickly, noting that the team was simply being careful in managing his workload. But now, following an MRI conducted Friday, it's clear that the issue is more complex than originally hoped. According to veteran Dodgers beat reporter Bill Plunkett, who has long had his finger on the pulse of the team's medical and roster developments, the MRI revealed additional inflammation not just in the forearm, but also in the elbow. This new detail drastically alters the outlook for Phillips. The medical staff has advised him to shut down all throwing activities for the next couple of weeks, at minimum. That means no bullpen sessions, no throwing programs, and no active rehab games on the horizon. The decision to stop throwing entirely is never made lightly, especially for a pitcher of Phillips' stature and significance. It suggests that the Dodgers are deeply committed to giving him the time and care needed to avoid any long-term damage, but it also signals that fans should not expect to see him back on the mound anytime soon. This injury update comes at a particularly delicate time for the Dodgers. The team has been riding high with one of the best records in the National League, showing flashes of dominance reminiscent of their 2020 championship campaign. However, much of that success has relied on the effectiveness and consistency of the bullpen, a unit that has been tested time and again due to the team's evolving rotation, pitching injuries, and the inherent grind of a 162-game season. Phillips, in particular, has been the anchor, the safety net that the coaching staff has leaned on to get through the 8th or 9th innings with confidence. Losing him, even for a few weeks, means reshuffling roles and potentially overextending other relievers. In the modern era of baseball, where bullpen management often determines the outcome of close games, the absence of a key reliever like Phillips cannot be understated. His command, veteran poise, and ability to neutralize both right-handed and left-handed hitters have made him invaluable. In 2023 and 2024, Phillips was often the go-to option in tight situations, whether it was cleaning up inherited runners, shutting down rallies, or closing games with efficiency. He's not just another arm in the bullpen, he's been the Dodgers' most trusted weapon when the margin for error was razor-thin. And yet, despite the obvious concerns surrounding his status, there remains a measured tone coming from the Dodgers' leadership. Dave Roberts, in his media availability following the announcement, emphasized that the team would not rush Phillips back under any circumstance. "We want to make sure Evan is 100%, Roberts stated. "He's too important to this team, not just for this season but moving forward. We're going to be smart about this. The focus is on his long-term health. That long-term view is crucial." With the postseason always looming in the background of every decision made in the Dodgers organization, the priority is to have Phillips healthy and effective when it matters most in October. But the path to get there is now lined with uncertainty. Elbow inflammation, even when treated conservatively, can linger. And with pitchers, especially relievers who rely heavily on torque and precision, any disruption to their throwing schedule can impact timing, mechanics, and confidence. For now, Phillips will focus on rest, treatment, and evaluation. But the Dodgers will also need to begin addressing the immediate bullpen gap his absence creates. Other members of the bullpen will undoubtedly be called upon to step up in his absence. Names like Brusder Gratterall, Ryan Brazier, Alex Vesia, and Joe Kelly become even more critical in holding down high-leverage situations. There may also be opportunities for younger arms or less utilized veterans to earn a bigger role. The Dodgers' player development pipeline has always been one of their strengths, and in moments like these, it becomes a lifeline. For fans, the update is disappointing, especially coming after a string of positive news regarding other injured players. With starters like Walker Buehler making strides in their rehab and position players returning to form, there was a sense that the Dodgers were finally turning a corner health-wise. The setback for Phillips tempers that optimism and adds a layer of unpredictability to the bullpen strategy heading into the heart of the season. Still, if there's a silver lining, it's that the team acted early. By identifying the issue, conducting an MRI, and committing to rest rather than pushing through, the Dodgers are prioritizing Phillips' health over short-term needs. It's a philosophy that has helped the team remain competitive year after year, placing the long game ahead of immediate gratification. If all goes well, and the inflammation subsides with rest and treatment, there's still hope that Phillips can return for the latter part of the summer, just as the playoff race begins to intensify. As of now, there's no official timetable for his return. The team will re-evaluate his elbow in a couple of weeks and determine the next steps based on how he responds to rest. In the meantime, the Dodgers bullpen will enter a phase of adjustment. It will be a test of depth, strategy, and resilience, hallmarks of this franchise over the past decade. Evan Phillips' absence will be felt not just in the box scores, but in the rhythm of the game, in the way the bullpen door swings open in the late innings, and in the trust that the fans and players have come to place in him every time he takes the mound. The hope now is that this is just a temporary pause, not a prolonged silence. For Phillips, the journey to recovery begins with rest. For the Dodgers, the mission continues with one of their best waiting in the wings for his return.